Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Melina's looking gorgeous, guys. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, it was funny. I saw this one girl's channel. She had a dress on like this, and she was just like swaying it around. And I'm like, oh my god, you can't be risque. Like, it's just not, you're not going to be able to keep your channel. Like, that's not going to happen, girl. And then I was like, and of course, I like those videos. Those are my favorite videos, obviously, because I'm an adult. So I like those videos, but I'm like, oh my god. So then I'm like, okay, and then later on, I see that her channel's been canceled, and I'm like, oh, poor girl, that sucks. Because I know it sucks to have your channel canceled, and you're just like, you had put in all this work, you put all these videos in, and you just have no channel anymore, and it's like, oh no. But the funny thing is, people will do these things, so they have channels, and they go through it over and over again. Sometimes you're like, wouldn't you learn the first time? Like I know, like I mean, and for me, I've done the risque kind of thing before, in the past, and just sort of like been doing that. And so when you do that, you kind of have fun with it because you're like, because you only think of the adults that are watching, you don't think of young people. So you're just like, oh, okay, this is fun, whatever. And then like, but when you get told, you're like, okay, this is serious, and you can't mess around. I mean, unless you're famous, you won't be able to get away with it anyway, and it's not like you get paid for it, because channels that have all risque content don't get paid because their stuff is like only stuff that's not listed as adult you'll get monetized for. So it's like, what is the point anyway? And so I'm like, but some people you're just like, didn't you learn the first 5 times? Like some people really will put out content like that over and over and over again, and you're like, hello, like you can't put out content like that. It doesn't, it's not allowed. And I mean, I think obviously there are people that do risque kind of jobs, and so they have to promote themselves. So I think they do allow some of that, but I think, and you have to allow it, just like you have to allow it, like on Instagram, I think you probably allow some things if you've got your own channel and you are a star that's kind of like uh, one of those stars that's in the risque kind of business, then you would be able to. But it's like, but I think you have to set it all to adult, obviously. I don't know how that works, but I'm like, oh my god, but I don't even know if you can. Like maybe they get their channels taken down. I'm like, okay. All right, bye guys. Bye everyone.